and I've always said this. That I feel like the Red Sox get criticized way more team-wise than any other team locally, more than the Bruins, more than the Celtics, more than the Patriots. And, they struggled the past couple of years, but when you kind of look at them overall, the criticism that they get is far worse. And they're always a team that generally, since besides these past couple of years, they're always a team that was in the top 10, whether it was payroll. Most of the time they're in the top 5. So, but I just think people don't like John Henry.
Same texter, 617 texter on the Subaru of New England text line says it's a lame talk radio narrative to say they never make moves. In 21, they got Kyle Schwarber. We talked about that yesterday. Mm-hmm. They did go out and get Schwarbs, and so they did make a move in 2021. That's 4 years ago. But I hope all I said, literally, to start the show was the fact that this team is red hot. Better not. I fear. Mm-hmm. I hope it's not accurate, but I fear that may lead to them not doing what I would like to see them do when it comes to the trade deadline. They may sit there and go, as Mego said, the chemistry's here on this team, and we don't want to screw with it.
But they've never been so vocal about if they were in a position adding to a team.
But they had to do that because they traded Devers. Like, they had to do that. Like, that's the reason why they said that, But
but they're still saying it. I mean, Devers has been gone for, several weeks now, and Breslow said it yesterday. Like, if we're in a position where we're looking at it and we're like, all right, we're back in the mix, we would definitely not want to just add depth. We want to add a legitimate pitcher, starting pitcher that can help us this season.
I do think there's something to how specific he was in answering you yesterday, Wiggy. Like, in not just talking blanket statements about seeing where they're at and the trade deadline and adding, but singling out a group that everybody knows needs help and highlighting that in his answer.
Meaning that he can't walk it back if he doesn't add an
arm. Or it would lend towards the idea of there's specific guys that they're looking at to bring in.
Yeah. Right.
Like, it's not just this, we'll see where we are, but that they are already have the homework done of like, all right, we're trying to trade for this guy. We're doing the legwork right now.
Yeah.
And he said a top-end starter. He didn't say, like, just another guy or, looking to add some depth. He said a guy that is a top-end that could be potentially a number 2 guy.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, he said it. He came out and said it. Right. Now, maybe it's posturing because he wants to negotiate before he's actually negotiating. Right. I don't know.
But, Wiggy,
but if you're sitting there, if you're thinking about moving Jarren Duran, for instance, and you're worried that you're not going to get the value that you would have gotten in the offseason if you traded Jarren Duran, then what better way to set that up than tell everybody you expect that you're going to get back a legit starting pitcher? So, I mean, I don't know.
At the same time, he's saying we don't have to move an outfielder.
Right.
Like, he's specifically saying, which I like.
Same
because
kind of negotiating stance.
Yeah, it could be. But also, like, I guess them saying, like, we're not going to operate from being opportunistic just because we can deal somebody. Like, I like that. If they didn't move on from Duran at the trade deadline, I might be in the minority over here, but I like that. I like them holding on to the good player for this season and trying to push for the postseason.
It's also a signal, though, that they're not going to be desperate either. Like, they want to be opportunistic in that they want to strike if the opportunity is there, but they're not going to act desperate and be like, we need a starting pitcher so bad, let's trade Jarren Duran.
Right, but they might also get a starting pitcher without trading Duran, right? They still clearly know that, like, that is the one. When you look at this team and you say, all right, we were kind of like, oh, they need a first baseman, another bat, but they probably don't need that. But the one thing that they still talk about that they need, or is a position of need for them, is a legit number 2. They still talk about that because I don't know, they probably have confidence in Bello and Giolilto, but maybe they're like, well, Giolilto, what if he gets hurt again? What if Bello hits another little slump? Because I don't think you could be confident in Walker Buehler. I don't think you could be confident in what Tanner Hawk, who's down in AAA ball. Like, you can't be confident in Dobbins or Dick Fitz. So the only guy that you're really truly confident in is Garrett Crochet. And they want to bring another guy that they can have the, similar level of confidence in as their number 2 pitcher.
Shime, should we take a break? I think we should.
Yeah, let's do that.
Stay on track. So we will get to leads coming up next. Is Jackson getting a lead?
Hey, that's your call, boss. You're in charge.
I mean, is it? Do you know that? Did he go over it with you? Topic? Is it a life hack?
Hasn't mentioned it to
me.
me.
A business opportunity.
All he did was come in and set up his headphones.
Is a story about what he wants to do over the summer. Like what?
You never know with Big Crack.
Maybe he's gonna go surfing again.
Maybe. All right. So.